To know God's divine love is to live God's divine love. Our mission here is to love God and to love people and to serve the world. And when you understand God's divine love, that's exactly what you want to do every moment of every day of your life. You want to make sure that your life is in line with loving God. You want to express the love of God that's been given to you by loving other people around you. And you want to express the love that you have for other people by serving them as a servant. So God calls us today to love Him, to re-enter into that relationship. Maybe there's some here this morning that as you've heard the words of Hosea, you thought, there's no way I would have stayed in that relationship, and you're right. There probably is no way we would stay in that relationship. But God is staying in that relationship, no matter where you're at spiritually. He's there with you. He is seeking after you. He's already purchased you. You simply need to turn to Him. I've asked the worship team to come and to sing this great song that might draw us in to who He is, of the goodness of God that goes beyond where He's at, where we're at. At the end of Hosea, in the 14th chapter, Hosea says this. This is a God speaking to the people, and it's kind of a pattern of prayer that we could have as we realize maybe we're that adulterer way out in the wilderness as He's seeking for us. And God simply was saying to the people of Israel, return to the Lord your God, for your sins have brought you down. Bring your confession and return to the Lord. Say to Him, and here's the part that you need to hear. Maybe these are the words that you need to pray this morning. Forgive all my sins and graciously receive me so that I may offer you my praises. So this morning, as the worship team comes and sings, I invite you to just stand right where you're at. And maybe you'd like to create an altar where you're at, or you'd like to come to an altar and say those very words to God. Forgive me. Help me to re-enter into that covenant. Forgive me of the sin. Forgive me of where I am and bring me to where I need to be. Bring me back into your fold so that I may live with you forever. And allow that to be our response this morning. So stand with me and sing as they lead us this morning.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, oh, I will sing the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have
Do you know the goodness and faithfulness of God in your life? Only a couple of you? Do you know of the goodness and the faithfulness of God in your life? That should excite you. I love that whenever we've been anywhere away from Him, He's seeking us. So know, wherever you're at, He wants to draw you closer. He wants to bring you in. Why? Because He loves you that much. He loves you with all His heart. And when we're unfaithful to Him, it breaks Him to the depths of His core. But He loves us enough that when we seek Him, He forgives us and He restores us and He brings us back. And you know what? That should change our life. Yeah? Yeah? So this week, wherever you go, don't just be a good example of God to the people around you and hope that something bleeds in their life. If you truly understand the divine love of God in your life and you have that in your life, you cannot stop but speak about it. You cannot stop but serve with it and through it. You cannot stop but love those that the world says don't love. So as you go from here, my prayer is that you understand and know and live in the divine love of God, because Jesus gave us the example of the true and better Hosea. Now go into His world, because your mission field starts as soon as you turn around. Wherever your feet are, you're on mission, right? So tell of His love and His grace. If you're a member here, by the way, voting is happening in the lobby. You can vote on your way out. Make sure that you let the person at the voting table know how beautiful she is. That will help me today. It's my wife, so that'll be good. But go in the grace of God. You are dismissed. Thanks for joining us online today. We hope that you had a great worship experience. If you'd like to connect with us, please text me, call me, message in, and we will respond back to you. Go in the grace of God. You are dismissed.